So, hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. You know, I think it's time to have this discussion because, like you, I have really been absorbing a lot of the things that are going on around us here in recent weeks and recent months. And there's so much fear, and there's so much anxiety, and there's so much disappointment. And we're all on this wild, weird journey, aren't we? Let's talk about this. Welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. So, I'm going to say some strong words on this, at least I think I am. You know, we've been making videos for a long time, and we've always tried to share our journey, but at the same time try to be a positive light and encourage others to do the same thing. I do think that it's pretty fair to say that life today in December of 2021 is not the same as it was a year ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago. Things have changed very rapidly for a lot of people, and obviously no one is getting any younger. But circumstances on a daily basis now, we've talked about this here on the channel for the past several months. I tried to kind of keep it a little bit more low-key there for a while. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to put myself out there and be very vulnerable. I, at times, have tried to avoid certain topics or conflicts and things like that simply because, well, I have my opinions and I have my thoughts, and they're not up for debate. And oftentimes when you have content that you put out to the public, you got to put up with a lot of people's stuff. And I recognize that. In recent weeks, I have spoke out and said and talked and pushed back and basically said, why you want to be this way? And, I'll be honest with you, that's not just to stand up for myself, but it's also to give people the ability to stand up for themselves. See, I don't like bullies. And so therefore, I know that when you push on me, you probably push on everybody else. And I want to give people the courage to stand up for themselves. Whether that actually ended up being the case, I don't know, but it's what I felt I needed to do. So here it is. So you all know that we have been very sick. We have recovered from the demon's brew, the deliberate demon's brew. You know exactly what I mean by that. So we're not going to play dumb. We'll just call it like it is. And we fully recovered. And we are doing really, really well. But I will tell you that, as you know, I've struggled a little bit harder post than my husband. My husband's like, I think he's going to go rip a tree out with his bare hands and throw it in the woods or something. I mean, he's doing amazing. I'm physically doing amazing, but psychologically, I think this has caused me to analyze a lot of things. It could be the fact because, well, I'm all woman. And, us women, when you mess with us, we get a little crazy. It could be hormonal. It could just be that because, I will tell you this, a doctor just told me this week, she said, when you all were very, very sick, you were the one taking care of everybody. You were running a full farm. And even James said last night, he said, you were like on fire. He said, you were so sick. And he said, you were just running everything. He said, I don't really know how you did it. So that could be the explanation as to why things lingered as far as some fatigue or different things like that. But you know what it also has done? And it ends today because I said it's going to. It's caused some anxiety in a lot of things in my mind with dealing with things in my life, dealing with things with my channel, dealing with things with people, dealing with things with family, dealing with things in life and what all is going to happen. Because we all know, right? If you go to all these different channels on YouTube, and if you listen to the news, and if you let the world push on you hard enough, and you know what? It may be true. How are we responding? How am I going to respond? How are you responding to the whole potential of, well, here it is, y'all. The world's coming to an end. Now what? Yep, I said it. I'm not joking. I know I'm smiling, but y'all, what are you going to do about it? What can we do about it? So hear me out. So over the last week or two, I've really been doing some examining in terms of what am I going to tolerate? What do I think is true or not true? Who do I believe or what don't, who I not believe? What am I going to allow in my life or on my farm or my children's life? What does God want me to do? What is my relationship with the Lord? Am I doing my due diligence? Who am I supposed to be in all of this? We're talking about economic collapse. We're talking about worse than a great depression the world's never seen. We have leadership of nothing. It's total failure. Total failure. On every front. Total failure. You heard me. Where does that land us? Where does that land our country? Now we got World War III talk. Christmas is 2 weeks away. We're talking about potential World War III being literally mapped out right in front of our face right now with situations around the world, 2 in particular. Go look it up. And folks, I think with, getting over being sick and realizing that, honest to God, as you know, or you don't know, coming out of the demonic brew, the deliberate demonic brew, it is not a good situation for a lot of people, and we made it. So why am I here? Why are you here today? Because if you're watching this crazy East Tennessee girl talk about this, that means you're living and breathing too. That means, you know what? That means you have a purpose. You woke up today like I did. And I woke up saying to myself, I am not going to do this anymore. I am not going to avoid going out in public because I have some weird anxiety. And why is that? And, I'm living and breathing, and God gave me another chance. God gave me opportunity to heal my body, and I did. And my husband, who by a lot of people's standards should be 6 feet under right now, guess what? He's not. So why are we here? What are we supposed to do? If the world's coming to an end, like all of these channels are telling you and scaring you to death, which I'm not saying they're wrong, so don't take me the wrong way. But the question is, what are you? What are we? What are we going to do about it? Well, first of all, you have to recognize, like we've talked about, and I'm talking to myself here just so you know, there is some really evil stuff running wild and wicked. Always has, but it's really got some strength right now. And it likes to attack the hearts and souls and minds of those that are doing good, trying to do good. And it comes at you in so many different forms, doesn't it? It's really disgusting. It's testing you. I thought about my great-great-grandmother today, and I changed my cover picture on Facebook to her because I know I look a lot like her, and she was incredible. And she's one of these people in our family that I grew up with her, and my Nana was very close to her, and she was kind of silly, But the more I've studied my family history, which is what I encourage you to do in the midst of anything, is to know who you are and who you come from and what who are your pillars of people. She probably in later years, when we were all around and we remember her, I'd say she developed a very lighthearted sense of humor. You know why? Because that woman, before she ever hit my age, she lived through the pandemic of 1917, 1918. Her husband went into World War I. She had a traumatic childbirth. She survived and totally lived through the Great Depression and World War II, and raising her daughter and all these grandbabies. So yeah, I'd say she probably became a little lighthearted in life, because how else are you going to make it? I also know that she was extremely grounded in her faith. And she was probably the most resourceful person that my family can talk about, as far as she did this and she did that. She did without so much so we could all have. Folks, that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to decide who we want to be, because again, the leadership is up to you and me. It's not who we vote for, because they're total failures. And there's a reason that's been revealed, is because we are having to understand that we have to redefine who we are as a people. We have to redefine who we want to be in terms of our relationships with each other, regardless of how nasty people are. And we have to know and define who we are in terms of, and where we are in terms of our relationship with God. Now, I don't believe just like everybody else, don't claim to, but I do understand and believe personally my relationship with God and everything that He's given me, and accepting the Lord Jesus Christ as my personal Savior, is fundamentally first. Doesn't mean I'm perfect. I have to work on things. But see, I've let anxiety, I've let doubt, I've let self-doubt, I've had all of these things enter my mind since I got sick. You know, I pushed back in the summertime when I started gaining a lot of weight. We talked about this before. And I realized that I was letting things control me more than I was controlling myself, which was causing stress and anxiety, which was causing self-doubt, and was causing weight gain. I think a lot of us over the last 2 years have experienced this. And I woke up one day and I said, I ain't doing this anymore. And I didn't. But then we got sick. And I'm not trying to beat that storyline, but I'm just saying, I'm relating to you, because I want you to know that the comments that I have gotten, thousands of comments, and the personal stories of between me and you folks out there, and my husband too, saying, I experienced this is what it made me feel this way, or this is what we did, or this is what we believe, or this is what worked, or this is what didn't work, or this is what we're going to focus on now. This is what strengthens people. See, that type of conversation should come from leadership. Leaders should be trying to help define roles of positive influence and roles of strength. So we have to make it ourselves. So I woke up today, I did all my chores. I'm a little bit behind because I said, you know what? That's okay. I'm going to cook a good dinner. I'm going to take care of my animals. We're going to make Christmas cookies. I'm going to curl my hair. And I'm going to look cute when my husband comes home from work here in a minute. And you know what? I'm not going to have anxiety about going to Walmart or to Kroger or to deal with people. I'm just going to deal with it as it comes. And you know, in terms of, is the world ending? What do I need to do? Well, I think I've hit on the main thing, is figuring out who you are very quickly. Figuring out who are you in terms to other people. Figuring out what you want to be most important in your life. God, my husband, my family, my farm, our health. And as far as everything else goes, that's shifting to survival mode. And that is a huge topic. Sitting around and moping and having anxiety and doubting yourself, and I'm speaking to me, and worrying about what silly things think of me, silly people, doesn't put more items in my pantry, does it? It doesn't help me create content that puts more things away in my pantry and teaches you. It doesn't help continue to teach my boy how to make bread, or how to cook, or how to, properly stack wood or trim hooves. It doesn't help my children. And that's what we all need to recognize together, is what do we want in terms of the defining measures. And if you need to be working on your self-sustainability, whatever level that is, because we all need to, because we're going to need each other. because we can't predict what's going to happen. We just feel in our heart something is. All you can do is your best. And like I've told you, if the best you can do today is to go buy a pack of ramen noodles and put it away, then do so. If the best you can do today is to get up, put on some hot soup, and say it's a great day to be alive, and then, of course, like I'm going to tonight, I'm going to drop off some food for some folks that need it. Because that's what we need to be focusing on, is helping each other and be the leaders within. Time is short in a lot of ways if we believe everything that we hear. And if we do, I guess we better get busy. I appreciate you being here. It's been a rough couple of weeks, I'm not going to lie. And talking about it with you helps me relate to you because you all help me so much. And don't forget, this is a sacred season for a lot of people. There's a lot to be thankful for, no matter how bad we think things are or how bad we think things can get. We have an opportunity today to be thankful, and that makes all the difference. We'll see you on the next video. So you got home just in time. I just finished the video. And I told everybody that, it's time to be proactive. If you think the world's coming to an end, and if the economy's going to collapse and the dollar means nothing and World War III is being set up and yada, yada, and we have no leadership and yada, 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 what can we do? And that's not to make light of it, but it's to define the anxieties I think that a lot of people have in our mind, and social media and videos and lots of different things bring that out as far as topics and make people feel paralyzed. And I'm saying, since we've been sick, I think my anxiety has been a little high. I think that it's played with my mind. I think that that's unfortunately part of the situation there. And I woke up today and I said, I'm not doing this anymore. And I've had to really talk myself through the whole notion of, these are all possibilities. These are things people are talking about. And I'm dealing with my own anxiety. So now what am I going to do? So cleaned the house and took care of the animals and put in some soup in the crock pot and curled my hair. And I said, well, I guess we better get busy living.
I concur.
I just think people, including my, I think it's human nature and it's natural. But I also think you have to finally just look at it and say, this is not going to control me. I'm going to do everything I can in my power to take back my own self-control. And I woke up today, so I'm here for a reason. What am I supposed to do?
I think when people take control, it automatically lowers their anxiety level.
Yeah.
So if for no other reason, take control of whatever it is in your life that's causing anxiety.
Let's just grab it. I'm gonna grab you and give you a kiss.
Do I cause you anxiety?
Do we really want to put this on camera?